Imagine standing in line at the airport, excited to catch your flight, only to be met with cold stares and unwarranted hostility. That's exactly what happened to one woman when a gate agent decided to humiliate her in front of everyone, for no reason other than the color of her skin. What the agent didn't know was that this woman wasn't just anyone. She had a powerful ally by her side. Her best friend, who happens to be the governor, was quietly watching the entire scene unfold. What started as a routine day at the airport quickly turned into a jaw-dropping moment of reckoning. This story is more than just about prejudice. It's about standing up against injustice and how a single moment can reveal someone's true character. You won't believe how it all ends. Stay tuned as we dive into the details of this shocking encounter. It all started when the woman approached the gate, her boarding pass and ID in hand. She had done everything right, checked in early, followed all the rules. But the gate agent barely glanced at her documents before giving her an icy glare. The agent's tone was sharp, questioning whether the ID was hers and if she was even in the right place. People in line began to look, some whispering, others pretending not to notice. The woman, calm but visibly uncomfortable, politely explained that everything was in order. Meanwhile, her best friend, the governor, stood a few feet away, observing the exchange. They had planned this trip together for months, a much-needed break from their busy lives. But as the governor watched the agent's condescending attitude escalate, it became clear that this was about more than just a ticket. The tension in the air grew thick, leaving everyone wondering what would happen next. The gate agent's attitude only got worse. She loudly accused the woman of holding up the line and claimed her boarding pass looked suspicious. The woman, now visibly shaken, explained again that everything was legitimate, but the agent's tone grew even more dismissive. Passengers nearby exchanged uneasy glances, some murmuring among themselves, but no one stepped forward to help. From her spot in the background, the governor resisted the urge to intervene just yet. She wanted to see how far this would go. Her friend was a strong, independent woman who rarely needed help, but the governor could tell this wasn't a normal situation. The agent's tone shifted into outright mockery, questioning whether the woman could afford to fly first class. The woman's face flushed with a mix of frustration and humiliation. The governor, still quiet, but now seething inside, decided it was almost time to step in. The tension at the gate was unbearable. The agent crossed her arms, smirking as she told the woman she would need to step aside for further verification. By now, other passengers were watching intently, some clearly uncomfortable but still silent. The woman stood her ground, refusing to leave until the agent provided a valid reason. "What exactly is the issue here?" she asked, her voice steady but tinged with frustration. The agent shrugged dismissively, clearly enjoying the power trip. "It's procedure," she said with a sly smile. "We have to be extra careful about certain passengers." At that moment, the governor took a step forward. Her eyes locked onto the agent, her face calm but filled with authority. Without revealing her identity, she asked, "Is there a reason you're targeting her specifically? Or should I assume this has nothing to do with actual policy?" The agent froze, realizing the situation might be slipping out of her control. The crowd leaned in, sensing something big was about to happen. The gate agent hesitated, her confidence wavering under the governor's piercing gaze. She stammered something about following airline rules, but her tone lacked the conviction it held just moments ago. The woman, emboldened by her best friend's quiet support, asked again, "What specific rule am I breaking?" "My documents are valid, my ticket is valid. So what's the problem?" The crowd was no longer just watching. A few passengers began murmuring in agreement, their discomfort turning into subtle support. The agent's composure cracked further. But instead of backing down, she doubled down. She reached for her radio, calling over a supervisor, clearly hoping to reinforce her authority. The governor crossed her arms and exchanged a glance with a friend. As the supervisor approached, he looked from the woman to the agent and then to the governor, who he immediately recognized. His eyes widened, and his expression shifted, signaling that this encounter was about to take a shocking turn. The supervisor's eyes darted nervously as he approached, clearly recognizing the gravity of the situation. "Governor," he said, his voice low and respectful, "I didn't realize you were here." The gate agent froze, her face pale as the realization hit her. She looked between the governor and the woman, trying to piece together what she'd missed. Before the governor could respond, the woman spoke up. "So, this is how you treat paying passengers, singling them out, humiliating them in public, and making assumptions." Her voice was firm now, reclaiming the power she had been denied moments earlier. The supervisor quickly apologized, assuring them it was a misunderstanding. But the governor wasn't letting it slide. "This isn't about one mistake," she said, her voice sharp. "It's about a pattern of behavior. I'll be filing a formal complaint with the airline." Just when the agent thought it couldn't get worse, a passenger stepped forward, recording the interaction. "I saw everything they said," turning to the governor and the woman. "You're not alone in this." As the woman and the governor boarded their flight, the agent's career hung in the balance, a stark reminder that actions have consequences, even when you think no one's watching. As the plane took off, the woman glanced at her best friend and smiled, grateful for her quiet yet powerful support. The incident at the gate had been humiliating, but it also served as a moment of strength and solidarity. The governor had used her influence not to intimidate, but to stand up against an unfair system, proving that everyone deserves respect, no matter their background. Back on the ground, the video recorded by the passenger began circulating online, sparking widespread conversations about accountability and the importance of treating everyone with dignity. The airline quickly issued a statement apologizing for the incident and promising to investigate their policies. For the woman, the experience was a reminder of resilience, and for the gate agent, a lesson that prejudice has no place in any environment. The moment might have started with humiliation, but it ended with a powerful message about justice and the strength of standing together.